Hey, I'm Tony K. Welcome to Transformation School. And we're going to take a look at Fanstoys Willis, also in some circles known as Willy. This is the Fanstoys interpretation of a masterpiece Hound. And in the near future, Takara will be releasing an official masterpiece Hound. May or may not stand up to this figure in terms of build, quality, engineering, but aesthetically, I think it's going to hold up. And I've got my eggs in the official masterpiece basket. It is currently a seller's market for this Fanstoys Willis because it is such a popular figure currently out of production. We'll probably see a re-release in the future. Near future, distant future, I don't know. But I know that someone out there is looking for this figure right now. Well, I am going to be selling mine on eBay. And we're going to take a look at this figure before I get it listed. And we're going to start with gimmicks. We've got rolling wheels, rubber tires, and a little hitch in the back. This is a bit loose. Imagine that if you tighten this Phillips head screw, that would tighten up this hitch. I will leave that to the next owner to decide whether or not they're going to tighten that up. The seats recline. You can put a variety of small figures in here. Lego figures, Mega Constructs, Mega Blocks. Perhaps you have an MP10 Optimus Prime or the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, and they come with various Daniel and or Spike figures that could fit well in here. We have mirrors that move, primarily folding up for robot mode. And we also have this windshield that folds back again for robot mode. Not so much a vehicle gimmick. Now on to accessories. For the vehicle mode, we've got this gas can that can just sort of clip anywhere on the back of the vehicle, as well as this spare tire accessory, hollow in the back. Just clips onto the back of the Jeep. Also in vehicle mode, we have this laser gun type of weapon that can plug in to either of two holes in vehicle mode. And in his robot mode, he has this shoulder mounted, looks like a missile. It does come out. Splits apart into some base pieces. Simply engineering, not for gimmick. However, you could apply some glue or other adhesive if you wanted to make the whole thing permanent and solid. We have another gun for robot mode. No specific place for vehicle mode. Alternate head. Alternate machine gun weapon for vehicle mode. The machine gun has a bit of a piston gimmick, but that only gives it a little range of motion. I found an accessory for the missile launcher to be utilized in vehicle mode. We have a small gear shifter cup holder accessory that can peg into the two holes on the floorboard of the car, but without any sort of glue or adhesive to hold this in, it falls out very quickly and easily when manipulating the robot mode. And there's also a sticker sheet, so you can decorate the vehicle in any number of ways. These are difficult to read, the white ones. That's Fanstoys FT15, and then next to it it says Willis. It looks like the word Willis is over clear plastic with white around it, so if you were to apply this to the vehicle, then the green would show through the lettering. I don't quite see a place on the back as being specific for the sticker, but I'm sure you can search online and find some product shots. Make your decisions. The sticker below the Jeep doesn't appear to say anything. It appears to simply be a thick white stripe. It would have two clear stripes end up showing up as green on the vehicle, and then thin white stripes on each long side. And we've got instructions and the collector's card. Now, one thing to note, these back panels slide in and out. I think they should have been glued in. They were not glued in. I have not applied any glue to them myself, but I would recommend you do that on your own if you are handy with such things. If you're a klutz, stay away from that glue. These do tend to come out during transformation and manipulation of the robot. Accessories to the side. We're just going to fumble through the transformation so that as a buyer of this figure you can see what you are getting. We're going to split the vehicle, free up the legs from the upper body. You can transform either one at your leisure. I think I'm going to go for the legs first. Split the back of the Jeep. There are plenty of reviews out there that provide much better instruction on transforming this figure. I recommend you watch those for specifics as you need help. In this video, my whole intent is to provide my consumer with a detailed look at the figure so they can make a well-informed purchase. Very important to free up the tabs that peg the front bumper into the forearms inside the vehicle. Now, looking underneath, side to side on this thing, let's see if I can get it all in the shot. Okay, I have a pointing tool here, right there. That is a defect in the plastic. If we look on the other side, it's nice and square, but this has a little, I mean, we can call it a crack. Doesn't look like it has been broken, it just looks like it wasn't formed correctly in the mold. However, I can imagine that possibly cracking over time in the future, especially with klutzy hands trying to transform this. So be advised. Now the clearance of these parts is a little tight. We do have the soft rubber tires that can move out of the way. Again, watch multiple reviewers and their instructions on how to transform this figure, so that way you can learn from everybody else's experience. As well as read the instructions thoroughly. There's a lot of pieces that have to be out of the way when trying to move and manipulate another single piece. So let's see, I've got to get this square. Actually, it's a rectangle and it has to be long ways with what was the body of the Jeep. And then this arm also needs to clear the wheel. Have you ever heard anyone say Fanstoys takes the fun out of Transformers or transformations? Yeah, that's quite often the case. And this clearance issue is one of those situations. They make a great looking figure, but they don't make it easy. We are in the home stretch, folks. Some of that was off camera. I cut that out. Just the process of getting everything to fit together can be a bit of a challenge. Pull out the hands. Raise the front fenders and tuck these up. I think they tuck under the arms pretty well, if you don't mind his hands being all the way out here. But if we bring them up behind the shoulder, then he can put his arms straight down. And we'll fold this back. Let's see. This is where the gear shifter accessory goes and falls out of. So again, glue of some sort would be fine. Accessories from the vehicle mode can potentially clip on behind him. Might be a bit of a stretch. You might risk scratching some paint or snapping some plastic if that is not a good fit. I don't know. To me, these are accessories that would stay in the box. I guess they do both fit. The guns, he holds. There's a tab and a slot on the back of the palm of his hand. That fits in just fine. That folds back in a nice manner. The rocket launcher can tab in on either side. On the top, it's a very short tab, so when manipulating the figure, this whole rocket assembly could pop out. Hinge and swivel on his neck. Alternate head sculpt and paint. Personally, I prefer the white paint. Silver paint is available. And he comes with this diving mask he had in one of the first few episodes of the cartoon, G1 cartoon. It doesn't stay clipped in. It is ready to fall right off his face. How about on the other head? Does not stay clipped in very well. Big gap. Okay. His other guns. Are a bit of a challenge to get in. There's always a risk of breaking the thumbs off when these guns have to tab in to the hands. This one is round. Will it fit in there? That's tight. Do not force that one in to his thumb area. That will put a lot of stress on his weak little thumb. So for the figure himself, still looks great. Collector owned from a smoke-free home. It's got a bit of dust. Flaws. We gotta these bits are loose. They feel loose. It's not tight. Doesn't give a sturdy sense of stance. These pieces that form the side of the foot, kind of the door sections of the Jeep, seem like they don't tab in during robot mode. They just sort of friction into place. Doesn't seem like a fully thought out design. We've got these pieces from the backside of the Jeep that have their tendency to work their way out. When this figure is on display, of course, they will be securely under his feet. That is it for our look at Fanstoys Willis, aka a third-party masterpiece Hound. For the short period of time that this figure is posted on eBay, you can search for it. You can search for Candle Comics. Thank you all for watching. Class dismissed.